Welcome to a Sunday Musicale at Community United Methodist Church. I'm Chris Garfalo, the music director. We are very pleased to welcome back award-winning storyteller Megan Wells for the life of Miep Gies, a Dutch citizen that had hid Anne Frank, her family, and others for 25 months during World War II. For the music today includes Dutch composer Leo Smits' Divertimento for piano duet from 1942, a work composed 1 year before he and his family were taken to a concentration camp and did not survive. The first two movements are remarkably positive despite the circumstances in which the piece was written. The third movement is actually chaotic, and you can hear sort of hints of a military, almost a horn call sort of throughout, and it's quite interesting. His music was banned from performance at that time and is now published by a site called Forbidden Music Regained, a collaborative project which focuses on works from composers whose compositions were banned during World War II. The Divertimento has 3 movements noted in the program that will appear separately throughout the story and will be performed with my duet partner, Charlotte Ewing. The order of the pieces will be different than what you have in your program. We'll begin with the third movement, and then the first movement, and then the second movement, and the Chopin Nocturne in C-sharp minor that will close the program was composed about a century earlier than the Divertimento. I learned about this nocturne's connection to the time period of World War II about 8 years ago when I had played for a memorial service, and for a man that had lived in Poland during that time. His family requested this piece because it was the last piece performed live on Polish radio as Poland was being invaded. So Megan Wells has been a frequent guest at Community UMC, presenting programs over the past 10 years, including stories with music, including Mozart's Sister, Claude Debussy, Mary Shelley, The Canterville Ghost, Clara and Robert Schumann, George Sand and Frederick Chopin, Florence Nightingale, and According to Joseph, A Christmas Story. She's a joy to work with. Let's welcome Megan and Charlotte for the life of Miep Gies.
I am so excited that we get to hear this music. Are you excited too? Yes, I think that we are having a moment of history, yeah? Oh, you see, I get to watch their hands up there while you are watching the hands there. You know, they fly so fast. And they help us, this music, to live the time that we are in now, yes? Yes, and to bring us into memory. And mostly I am just talking so you can get used to the way that I talk. You are listening to a young girl who was born in Vienna, but then I live in Amsterdam. So we have the German and the Dutch, and they make a mess like this. I am here to help you to remember, my friends. Yeah. I was born Hermann Stružec. I will not make you to say it. Hermann Stružec. I was born in Vienna, Austria, yeah, 1909, and I live as, you have been, how many? Maybe been to Vienna, yeah? So you know, yes, how the buildings there, they're very, very tall. Some now are come down, you know, of course. But when I was little girl, I was there with my grandmother and my uncle and my mother and my father, and the apartments were very small, yeah? And it's like cruise ship, you know? And if you pay you pay lots of the money, you know. You get the rooms on the cruise ship on the outside that has the windows. But if you don't have so much, you have to be inside the ship. And it was that way for my family. We were inside apartments, yeah? No windows, with my small family. Yeah? And so I was always wanting to run out, and I would go down the long hallway toward the front, and I would smell all the different smells of all the different things that all the people were cooking. And I would get to those front stairs and run down so that I could get rid of all those smells. And always, when I would get there to the bottom, I would start to cough. I had, du sagst, the asthma. Yeah? Yeah, the asthma, yeah? And I was only child, yeah? And so always my friends, they would hear me coughing. Hermann, come. You need a glass of water? And they would take me into their houses, their apartments, where they had sisters and brothers. And I liked so much to pretend that I had sisters and brothers, that I had a large family. But then it was time for Hermann Stružec to go home. And I loved my mother and my father, but you know, inside without any windows. This music, it makes me think and remember one of the very potent memories of being young. I was 5 years old. World War I. And I ran out, and I come out into the street, and it is filled with soldiers. I have never seen such a thing, and they look so beautiful to me, you know. They are all so neat and so pressed, and they walk together so nice, and I don't know what it is. So I just go wandering, 5 years old, right out there, right into the middle of all the marching, and the soldiers, you know, they just pick me up like this, and they just start to pass me one to the next, you know. And then the fire brigade, he picks me up and he knows me. Hermann, what are you doing? They look so nice. What does the children know? They see what is really there, and not the ideas that are all like rooms without windows on the inside. And my mother and my father, they take me up into their arms and they say to me, no, you cannot, no, it's time of trouble, and my uncle is gone, you know, he has to go to fight, and there is so little food, you know, in wartime, yeah, you know, so no food at all, and I am trying very hard to grow, and so I grow straight up until my legs, you know, are like pins with doorknobs. But with the asthma and so little food, I am very weak. And I am not only young girl in Vienna who is hungry and weak. It's very hard. And so the women, they are getting together and gathering together, and they are very worried about the children. And so they decide that they need to send the children someplace safe where they can get food and get strong until everything is better, you know. But this takes time. Because some people say, no, we don't want to send our own children. Where are we going to send our own children, you know? Oh, you must send them to the Netherlands. Why must we send our children to the Netherlands? You must send the children to the Netherlands because the war won't come there. Some people would call it the Never War lands, you know? And so that is what they did for us. They would take us to the Netherlands, Never War lands, where nice families would open up their doors to us children. It was December. I was 11 years old, and I had stopped growing at all because there was so little to eat. And so we were all taken to the station, and they put a little name around our necks, you know. It was not Hermine Senstrujits. It was some name I did not know, even houses. And so we were all put up on the train. And then I looked out the window to see my mother and my father. And I am so hungry that it is hard for me to cry. And it is important for me to learn that when you are hungry, it can be hard for you to cry. So then suddenly the train, it stops. We are in Leiden now, and out we come, and they put us in these seats like this. My feet don't even touch the ground. And then they open the doors, and in come all the foster mothers and fathers, you know, and some of them are the older brothers or the older sisters, and they just come up and they start to read right here on your plaque, you know. And then this man, he comes up and he reads it, and he goes, oh, Hermine Senstrujits. And I don't say anything. I don't know what to say. He is speaking Dutch. I speak German. He takes my hand. I am off the bench, and we are out from the train station. And I have been reading, and all I can think that this is, you know, what? My Goldilocks, and now we will go into the house of the three bears. I don't know. But you know, his hand is very warm and strong, and he starts to whistle. And then I think when he whistles now, his dogs will come, and I don't know dogs. I am frightened of dogs, but it is not dogs, because we are getting closer and closer. You know, in those days, the train station was not like right here it is now, right in the midst of everything, you know. The train stations were always on the edge of the towns, yeah? So we were walking through woods. And then I hear a whistle back. And then he whistles, and they whistle back. This is the beginning of the whistling Neverworlands for me. Always they are talking to each other in their whistles. And there is my foster mother. And she welcomed me right into her arms. And she take me all the way into the house. And she put my little self right down into the kitchen table right there. And then she gave to me a whole glass of milk. I had not seen a whole glass of milk that I can't even remember, you know. And I start to drink it, and it's so thick that it hurts my stomach. Because you cannot go from hunger right straight to eating, you know. But then she puts in front of me a piece of bread that is cut very thick. And on top of it is, can you think, is butter. Yeah. And then they pick it up. And on the bottom side there is butter. The bread is buttered on both sides. You know this expression. Yeah, oh, your bread, it is buttered on both sides. This is from the Neverworlands. And that I am able to eat, you know, until my fingers are so full of butter. And I think that I am so lucky. And the next thing you know, I am put into bed up there, and I look over, and in the bed is another girl. And my foster mother says to me, her name is Katarina, and I think to myself, I have a sister just like that. And when we wake up in the morning, we all go down together, and there are 4 boys, just like that. And then I think they have 5 children, and then they take in 1 more. And none of them can speak German, and I cannot speak Dutch, but I know they want to know my name. Hermijn Senstrujits, no. Hermijn Senstrujits, no. Hermijn Senstrujits, no. It's too hard, is what he said. I didn't understand it till later. Too hard. Miep. And that is that. Now I am no longer one thing. I am another. I am just Miep, there in that family. And they take me like I am their own. And after 6 months, I am doing better, but I am still sticks with doorknobs. And so they write to my parents, and my parents say it's good for her mind to stay. And so I stay. And then they decide that they can put me into the school, and I go to school, and now I can learn to speak Dutch because I listen to everyone who is speaking Dutch. And you know, all those children, they just take me in like I am already one of theirs. Everyone here is family. And then a year passes, and it is time for me to go, and my foster mother and their father, they take me back to Vienna, and I see my mother and my father, and they have had another child. It is a little sister, and I don't want to go. And how do I tell to my mother and my father that I don't want to be? I love them, but, and then my mother, she knows. She knows. What is it you call her, she asks. Now I understand both languages. Well, we call her Miep. And my mother says to me, taking my face in her hands, she says, Miep, you have new family now. You stay. Oh. Oh. I stay. And then I am Dutch, and that is my world. And I do so well in school, and I am, because I am there in the Netherlands, I am allowed as a girl to go and take extra classes I am allowed to do a little bit of college so that I could get a job. Who have heard such a thing at such a time? But there in the Netherlands, yes, if you were a girl, you could go get yourself a nice job, you know? And so I did. I learned my shorthand and my typing, and I got myself a little bit of job, but I couldn't stay there for very long because business was still hard, because you know that War I that ended just took a pause before it started to become a World War II. We are always in Amsterdam on our bicycles, yeah? Yeah. This too, have you been to Amsterdam? Some, you know, everyone is always on their bicycles or in a boat, bike or boat, yeah? And it is so beautiful everywhere. And the smell of that place, I still smell it in heaven. So, how does one girl get a job? From another. Yeah? One woman says to another, I hear they are looking for a girl who can type, and says it to another who says, oh, I know a girl like that, I know a girl like that. Well, it is short term because one of the secretaries, she is quite sick, so that's not long term. Oh no, but my Miep, she would like that. She will be very good at that. And so that is it. I have the name and the address, and I get on my bike in my new sewn suit. You like my suit? Oh, we love the clothes so much, and we cannot afford to buy them, but we go past on our bikes by the fancy shops, and then we steal the ideas and make our own patterns, and I like very much to sew. But I do not sew the nice pencil skirts like they are wearing, no, because I always ride on my bike, you know, so I have to have a little room for my legs. And so it is that I go into this place, to Opekta. What is this Opekta? I do not know. And then I meet him. His name is Otto Frank. Who is that? I don't know. But he seems like a very nice man, you know. He seems like a book that looks inside rather than outside. And I think it will take me some time to read him. He is not so tall, but he feels tall. And after very quick introductions, and I show him I can type and I can take stenography, he looks at me and he says, please, you come with me. And so I go with him. Yeah, this is not at the Prinsengracht, not at the Annex, no, it's an early place where first was business, yeah? And so they have a little room there, is research and development, yeah? And so in the research development, there I am, and on this counter, because Opekta is for food. Oh, I am learning. Is product in little package, yeah, for making gems, yeah, pectin, yeah, because the women would make their own gems, yeah, and so there is fruit, there are strawberries there, and there's, I can get water there, and there's little hot plates and everything that I need, and he says, okay, you do good, and he goes out and closes the door. It's like, I want to just make coffee and type. But I want a job. So I follow the instructions. So clear, is very clear on those instructions. And I measure everything out by the weight, you know, and I do it and I stir it up and everything. And then I make this nice gem, and it has lumps. I should have paid more attention when my foster mother was working in the kitchen. I just wanted to type and get out on my bike, you know. But I go and I say to him, you know, it tastes good. He says, come back tomorrow. So I come back the next day, and he puts me in research and development, and there's more fruit, and I am supposed to do it again. And so I read the instructions better, because I think maybe I read the instructions wrong, and I follow them, and then, you know, I have jam, and it has lumps. And I think that is that, it is all done, but no, he has me come back the next day, and by then I am all out of fresh shirts. So I have to wear the first one. So I keep some distance from him, because when you ride your bike, you can't wear the same shirt every single day when you live in Amsterdam. And so then I make it, oh, here mine. Is fruit is not same in war. Now you go, your fruit is always same, right? There's the nice grapes is always pretty, not exactly, but always pretty good. You like your fruit, But in wartime, sometimes you get good fruit, and then most of the time you don't get such good fruit, So I'm thinking that this fruit, these strawberries today are so much drier than the strawberries yesterday, or maybe even from the day before. And when a strawberry is dry, that means it has less juice, which means it has less water. So how come the instructions say to use the same amount of water every time when your fruit is changing? So I change the amount of water and I make the jam. In the jam it has no lumps. I am so happy. And then he says, good. And he takes me up to my little desk, and he has me to sit down at the little desk there by the telephone, And then that's it, he walks away. What is my job? There's no typewriter here. And then the phone rings. No one comes to rescue me. So I have to answer the phone. And I know downstairs, because I've been listening, is pekatan, which is also the spices for the sausages. So I pick up the phone and I say, hello, opekta pekatan. And on the other side of the phone is a woman, and she is very upset. She says, there is lumps in my jam. How old was your fruit? What? Oh, I have to be careful. I cannot insult her. This is who she is. It's her whole world, So I right away, I say, in these hard times, we just cannot get good fruit. No, we just cannot get good fruit. So they were dry, a little drier this time, or did you have a good set? Oh, they were terribly dry. And I said, then you followed the instructions exactly. I said, yes, but do you know what? When the strawberries are dry, you don't use as much water, she says. No. Try it. Call me back. Next day. I have no lumps in my jam. And so now I understand why he make me learn by doing. So that now I understand what you are doing. And the next thing you know, I am riding around Amsterdam, and all the ladies, they see me and they call out to me, Miep, no lumps in my jam. And I am so happy. It's so good. And we are dancing after work all the time. We go and we are going to the club and we are dancing, and now there are soldiers in a nice uniform. And I remember when I was 5, and then I start dancing always with this one who is very, very tall. His name is Jan. Gies. one of my friends, while I am dancing, she comes over, and she just pulls me aside and she says, "Oh, Miep, you have to come with us." I said, "What?" She said, "You have to join the Nazi party." I said, "What?" She said, "Oh, we are having such a wonderful time now." Yeah, and we are thinking that maybe even we will get nice uniforms. You like a good uniform? Come, you will join the Nazi party. No, I will not. Diane and I, we start to talk a little more. We understand that big changes are coming, and everyone is starting to see the changes, but we are in the never war land, so it will, of course, it will not come here. And then Otto Frank, he sees that I like Jan Gies, and he says to us, "You must come to my house." Yeah. Okay. I'm going to the boss's house. So it looked nice, very nice, I make him to slick it back, like this. Oh, Jan. And we go in there, and we go up there on the streets there in the Merweather plain, where all of the Jewish people have come to be safe here in the Never War lands. And there, that is when I really get the chance to meet Edith, Otto's wife. Otto's wife is she too is like book, it will take long time to read. But she is like sad book. And when she walks about, she touches everything, with her hands. And I noticed that all the furniture is very nice, it's old furniture, and she touches it, everything she touches, and I wonder, and then I realized that this is her family. This is what she has left of her family, because they have had to leave and come here to be safe. And then I get to know Margot. She's the oldest of the two, and she's just like the mother. She's the same as the mother, Edith will say one thing and Margot will finish the sentences for the mother. Margot, it's already done, Mama. It's done. And then, of course, there's the other one, Annalise. Is she like the mother? She's not like the mother. Is she like the father? No. She's like herself. Yeah? She is like weather. She's like elemental, She come in and she sees, oh, that's Miep. Oh, and starts to just chatter on, and her hair won't stay down because she herself won't stay down. When she walked, it was as if she would walk on air. She is so full of life and curiosity, and I like her so much, And she is petting my hair when I go over. How do you do that? How do you make your hair stay down like that? My hair is so awful. It goes everywhere. And so soon I persuade her to come and to sit with me. And she come and she sit right here on my lap. And then I have the combing shawl. You all have combing shawls. You cover your clothes when you comb your hair, don't you? So we put a combing shawl over her shoulders so that when I comb and the breaks, But I know what she wants. And I have a little oil in my hair is why I make it this way, I put a little oil on my hair like this. But I don't know whether her mother will let her have oil is for big women, So when she's not looking, I go like this. And then as I am brushing her hair, I go like this. And I brush her hair. And then she comes down off my lap and she goes straight into the window. Miep, it's a miracle. What did you do? I love her so much. And that is that. Now I am part of their family. And now after we eat dinner, then it is time for the girls to go to bed, because now we have to talk about more important things, because you know the war will never come. It is the never war lands, but now the man who makes the sausages downstairs at the business, Herman and his wife Auguste, the Van Pels, they are coming to dinner too. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Don't you see where we are? This is where we are. You know, they're going to have to take us because, you know, they want to take France. So, of course, we're going to go. We must get out of here now. Just wait, would say Otto. Just wait. Be patient. We don't know. And they would argue back and forth like this. And then Jan and I would walk home, and Jan would say, I'm going to work for the resistance. You're what? I'm going to work for the resistance. Okay. Okay. Don't we have to be, I know, I understand, it's all right, you know. And then it comes, it's like this so fast. The Never War Lands is gone in 3 days. Did you know when the Germans came to take us, they came in the planes, and we were used to always the planes going over, but they were always going over us from one, you know, we were like in the middle of them. But this time, they dropped them out of the planes, and all the boys, they were running out, and they were standing on the stoops to look up at the planes, because why was the postman coming out of a plane? The postman, the butcher, the baker, the neighbors. The German soldiers are dressed like Dutch citizens, so that we are so confused. It's like first piece of music, you know. The notes now are not all like lyrics. And so, as you walk the street, you don't know, is that my neighbor, or is that a German soldier? And they are so nice to us at first. They are so kind to us. They want to be our friend. It'll be just a little while. You will like it. You will like us. Why don't you join the Nazi party? No, thank you. Is old story, perhaps you know it, is old story where you have all these beautiful frogs, and there is a pot and another pot, and the one is on the stove and another is on the other side of the stove, and this one, the flames are up high. And so the water, you know, is bubbly, it makes the boils, yeah? And so the frogs, they come along and they jump inside the pot and they go, oh! And they jump right out. And they are stung and they say, I will not go into boiling hot water ever again, you know. They learn. But over here on this side is pot, and the heat is low. So the frog jumps in and goes, oh, it's nice in here. Well, I have to go get my family. And so the whole family comes in at a nice place, you know. And then the cook turns up the heat. Not too much. So that the frogs go, is the heat changing in here? And then the cook turns up the heat. And then the cook turns up the heat. And so all the frogs say, stay close to me, because they are there with their family. It seems as if it's getting hotter. Stay close to me. This is the story that is being told from one to another. It is like that, you know. They are friendly, nice to us, but little by little, the cook turns up the heat. No, no, you must bring your passport. And there we will say that you are Jew then. And then you will have the star. And you shall wear it like this. And it will pass, it will pass, it will be all right. It will all be all right. We are in the Never Orleans, but no, you cannot send your children to the same school because you know you can't have the Jews with your own children. And we can't have them swimming in the same swimming pools. And they can't be out running around in the parks at the same time as the beautiful blonde German children. Ours going to be a new and beautiful world. Otto said to Jan and me, would you take the company into your name? Jan says, yes. What? Oh, turn up the heat. If you are Jewish businessmen, then you will lose your business, yeah? If you keep it in your own name, the Nazi will come and take it. So many of them were very smart and gave it to their Dutch friends in name. So Otto is now running the company, Gies and Company. And then I get a letter that I am to come and show my passport because I said no to joining the Nazi party. I show my passport. Where is my passport from, my friends? Yes, it's from Vienna. I'm born in Vienna. I never thought, why would I do it? I don't know, but now I have to do that because in 3 months' time, I will be sent away from here, from my friends, from everything that I love, because I don't have the right passport. And it is a little fast for Jan and I, but I know that I love him, and so I put on a nice suit and some fresh red lipstick, and we go and we get married so that I can be Dutch citizen in my passport. And my foster mother says to me, she says, what shade is that lipstick? And I tell her, and she says, there is nothing in this world that is not helped by good red lipstick. And Miep and Anne, we walk together, same as Miep and Jan on that street. Because I think Annalisa is thinking that she is married to us too. And all she can do is play with my little gold ring. It is nothing, but to her it is all the dreams and all the world. And the next time I am there, I see that she is writing in her journal, and she winks up at me. I say, shall I brush your hair? But she does not have time for brushing because she is starting to write all her thoughts and her feelings inside this journal, you know. And I remember when I was her age, how I wrote all my thoughts and my feelings in this diary of my own, you know. And then it is just like that. All of a sudden, I am in Mr. Frank's office, and he says, you have to sit down. I don't want to sit. She says, sit down. And he says that we have to go into hiding. Why don't you go? Why don't you get the passport? Why don't you get the visa and go? I can only get one visa. Do you expect Mr. Otto Frank to leave his wife and his children to take one visa? We are going to go into hiding. Okay. Where are you going to go? Here. Where's here? Here. I will show you. Okay. Will you help us? Yes. No, I mean, will you? Yes. Yes, yes. He leaned against, the bookcases in his office then, like he has to hold on. And I've only seen Edith hold on to furniture like this. He says, do you understand what could happen to you? How dangerous it is for you to help us? Yes. What do I do? When do I start to do it? Now. Now. Yes, now. Because a letter has come that Margaret is to go to one of those very nice camps. She's going to go to this very nice camp, and she's going to learn how to be a good German citizen, and she should pack the boots in case it is going to rain, and she has to pack a nice pair of shoes and something to swim in and something to run in, She has a perfect list in this letter of how it's going to be so wonderful. And so we go and we get all the things as much as we can, and I put on 4 sets of clothes, and we go down, and now we're walking the streets of Amsterdam, and we can see where our friends have been because the windows have been smashed out, and there is paint everywhere that says Juden. So it is Monday, and I have to go to get Margaret because she's going to have to report that afternoon. So I go very early in the morning, but I'm very happy because it is raining. And when it is raining, the green police, they don't like the rain, so they are not so much outside. And so I go to their house there on the Merweather Plain, and the Margaret is there, and she is now unreadable like her mother and father. She's so scared. So her father has kept a bike for her, though it is illegal for him to have. He keeps one bike for her, and we go on our bikes through the streets in the early morning, and I try to whistle. But Margaret, she can't keep her lips still enough to whistle back. It's okay. I can whistle for both of us. And then when we get there, and I take her all the way in now. This is Prinsengrass 263, Prinsengrass, where we have moved. I take her all the way to the back, where it makes no sense. There's a set of stairs there. Oh, some of you have been there. Have you been there? You know those stairs, yes? It's more like ladder than stairs, yeah? So you could use your hands and climb up on all 4s. And when you get up to the top is a little room that makes no sense at all. And this was not here at first. It would be shorter like this and a little more wide. It is just the door. So I opened that door for her. It's so low, and she is growing so tall, and she just stands there. So I have to give her a little push to go inside. And then we just have to wait until later. Will the family come? Will Annalisa and Edith and Otto, will they make it all the way here? They can't bring, what can they bring? They have to look like they are just going for a little visit, And they walk and they talk to each other like there is nothing to be afraid of in all the world. And then they go up to watch your heads. And then Herman and Auguste van Pels, the sausage spice man, who tells stories about frogs. And Auguste, she is too big for this place. She is like something from Hollywood, the movie. And Herman smoke like this. One goes out, you light the other one, And they bring their boy, Peter. And Peter brings his kid. And that is that. Now we help. Every day. I am to get the meat and the vegetables, and Bep, the other secretary, she is to go get the milk and the bread. And then the man who works the books, Johann Kleiman, he goes to get whatever else he can, and he gets books for Annalisa and Margaret so they can keep studying, And Victor Kugler, he is working with Otto to run the business, his and company. And none of the workers know. It is great secret. None of the workers must know. And they are always below us. And so I come in early, and I go up inside there, and I see them all. They are all standing up the first set of stairs, standing there all in a row there in the kitchen, which is August and Hermine's bed. Peter sleeps in a little attic just up a little ways with his kid. And no one says anything. They just look at me until Annalisa, she steps forward. And she says, "What's the news, Miep?" And that's what I know. I know who she is like. She's not like her mother. She's not like her father. She is like me. She is my friend. And I never lie to her. I always tell her the news, how many are being taken, that they're going to the headquarters, and then they're being put on trains, and that they're coming at night in the middle of the night to find those who are in hiding. And the time passes while we work, and we wait, and we take care of them, and we go up the stairs and down the stairs, and we pretend. And then the time goes, and there is seasons that come and go, and Annalisa only knows because the chestnut tree changes from that view from the attic window. And then the allies are starting to come, and Otto asks for a map, and there's a great map put up, and then he starts with the little pins to mark the allies that are coming, and you can feel the excitement. We are so close. And then it is August 4th, 1944. I am. It does work. Johann is there, Victor is in his office, and Bep is, she is now doing phones. And all of a sudden I look over, and Johann's eyes are so big, and he's looking past me, and I don't know what he is looking at. And so I stand up to turn around to see that there is a grandpa standing there with a gun. Don't move. He asks, "Where is the boss?" This is Victor Kugler. They go in. 4 more grandplates come. And an SS officer, Karl Silberbau, comes with them. And they go in the back. I can just hear their voices. I am like this. Johann looks over. Bep is just crying. He goes over to Bep. He hands her the illegal papers from the resistance. He says, you go. And Bep, you go to the pharmacy. You tell them to call my wife. You tell them to they know what to do. Go. And so Bep goes out the door, and I am standing there. Go, it's okay, Bep. And then Johann says to me, go, Miep. I say, I will not go. I'm not going to go. You should go. I'm not going to go. Jan's going to come for lunchtime. I have to wait for Jan. And so we just sit there and we wait and we watch the clock, and then it is Jan, and I go straight. I don't let him come in. I just go straight over there. I said, it is all up here. There's no good here. And I hand him what papers I have that I can get into his hands, and then he is gone. And just like that, they come in and they take Johann. Only Johann, he leaves the door open so that I can hear them. I can hear their voices as they question him. And then one of the green police comes back and sits in Bep's desk and picks up the phone and asks for a van. And Johann, he gives me keys. He says, you must not, it's up to you, Miep. And then he has to go back for questions, and then the door is closed. And then that SS Karl Silberbauer, he comes in now. His gun is here. I see it so clearly. How can you help this Jewish garbage? I know what it is. He has Viennese accent. You are from Vienna. What? What? You are from Vienna. I change. I drop all the Dutch. I'm from Vienna too. What? I'm from Vienna too. Here, you see, he watches me so careful. I move so slow so you can see, and I'm just pulling out, here is my passport. He looks at my passport. He looks up at me, and I look at him like he is my neighbor, and then he comes around, he starts to pace back and forth. I don't understand, I can't understand. How can you do this? You cannot do these filthy garbage people. Do you know what we could do to you? You know what will happen to you? And then he leans forward and I can smell his lunch on his breath. He says, out of personal feeling, I will let you stay. God betide you. If you run, we will get your husband. My husband doesn't have anything to do with this. Don't lie to me. I know he works in the resistance. And then he goes. And the green van pulls up. And then I hear the sound of my friends. 8 sets of footprints coming down stairs, hall, stairs, door, van. Then Jan comes to the door. It is after business now, and all the workmen have left. I say, Jan, we must go up. We have to go out. We have to go upstairs. We have to see what is up there, because you know they're going to come. They're going to come with the other van, and they're going to take all the belongings, because now they belong to the Nazis. And so up we go. We go up those stairs, and we see that everything has been pulled out from everywhere. And that's when I saw it, you know. Annalise, her diary, you know, to keep it safe from her sister and from the dentist, who is my friend, who comes and adds to them. She had to put it in her father's briefcase. And the Nazis, when they went up to collect what they could find for tips, they have lifted up his briefcase and emptied it out. And to me, is like Annalise's soul, because it is there in her writing, you know. And so I just grab it up, and Beb, she helped me. We go about, we grab all of it up, all the papers, all of Annalise's writing. We grab up whatever we can, and we get ourselves right back downstairs, and I open up my desk, and I put it in there, and I say, you will wait there until Annalise comes back, because when Annalise is come back, then I will give it to her, because you know we have the Allies and they are almost there, and so why would they want my friends? I am going to go and I'm going to get my friends. So I put on my nice suit and I pull out and I make sure that I have on the nice red lipstick. And I go over to the headquarters, and I look for SS Karl Silberbauer. And when I get over to SS Karl Silberbauer, I go over to his desk like this, you know, I make this sign. You all know what I mean, you know. It has no accent. It is a language without words. And he says, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow might be too late. Tomorrow they might already be on the train. But this time I go and get all the money that I can. And Jan is collecting until I have a very large wad of money in my handkerchief, you know. And I go back to Karl Silberbauer like I'm going to blow my nose, you know, or to pat my lovely little red lipstick. And he says, it is out of my hands. I do not have enough. I said, what do you mean? He says, you cannot. It is higher up. I said, well, who is your boss? And he points upstairs. So I don't think. I just go right up the stairs, you know, and there in front of me is a double set of doors. I think it's like conference room. And I just knock on the door, and the door opens, and there are 8 SS officers. And they have their hat off, sitting right there on the conference table, and they're listening to the BBC. And I know that I am dead. It is illegal even for them to listen to the BBC. Oh. I am so sorry, I say in my German. I have come to the wrong door. And I go down those stairs in my Hollywood heels like I am Norma Shear. And I want to be nothing more than Norma Shear at this moment, because I know she is the heroine of the movie, which means that she will make it. We do not get our friends. They are taken then to Westerbork, which is not... They are taken first to Westerbork, where they are allowed to keep their own clothes, but they have to give up their shoes in case they want to run. And they get the wood shoes, and then they have to sit all of them together to take batteries apart. Because the poison from the battery will kill them slow. But then the Allies are getting closer, and so they have to get rid of Westerbork, and so they put them all on the train to Auschwitz. My friends, our friends, We're on the last train to Auschwitz. Herman, who is smoker, you know, he cannot last at all. He goes straight, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But Auguste, she has life. And all Edith can do is keep Margot and Annalisa close to her side. And Otto and Peter, and they are separated out over to the men's side. And they don't see each other again. You know, hair's gone and tattoos are placed. And you lose everything that you were. You are nothing but sticks with doorknobs. Why did I help? Because someone helped me. And we just keep the business going. You know, we wait every day, we watch every day, we wait. And then they have to evacuate Auschwitz because the Allies are coming closer and closer. And what are they going to do? They can't take Edith because she is nothing but bones. Why is she nothing but bones? Because she has given all her food always to Margaret and Annalisa. And just before they come, Otto is put in sick bay. And someone calls out the news, and all the Nazis, they move so quick, they do not evacuate the sick bay in Auschwitz. Margaret leaves her mother, Annalisa leaves her mother leaves her body and is at peace. But Otto is still alive in the sick bay. Annalisa and Margot, they arrived to Bergen-Belsen, where there are no ovens there. They are just there to die of starvation. They have now typhus, and the scabies have done nothing but leave them with pus and the rash. And then it is D-Day. Oh, we have been hungry too, but it is not worth it to speak it because it is nothing compared to what my friends suffered. But we were hungry too. And when D-Day came and when it was announced, you know, all of us came out on our rickety legs out into the streets to look at each other again. Is it possible? Is it possible that it is over? And I will never forget this because from the roof across the street out came 45 pigeons into the air. All the pigeons had been taken. You were not allowed to have pigeons. And someone had disobeyed the law and kept their pigeons. How did they keep their pigeons safe all this time? I don't know. But all I know is that there were 45 pigeons flying overhead. And we thought, our friends are going to come back now. Everything will be all right, you know. And it is only Otto. We are so gentle with him, you know. You cannot give frothing milk to someone who is hungry. And do they cry? It is hard to cry when you are weak and hungry. I know this from my own life. So he come in and we take good care of him. And he go every single day and he reads the Red Cross list. And then he finds soon that Edith is no more and goes into his office. Herman, I know Herman is gone, but if August is gone, they are no more. Johann and Victor are all right. Peter's gone. Margaret and Annalisa. They will be all right. They will be back. we got a letter. I want to get the words exactly right, right here. With this, I declare that Margot and Anne Frank in the Schonden block number 19 in Bergen-Belsen prison camp died about February, beginning of March. I myself was a prisoner in the same camp in block number 1 and on friendly terms with above-mentioned girls. We hear the whole story from Jannie Brandeis. She invited Otto over and she told to him how they all in the block, they stopped eating from on in the Jewish holidays into the Christian holidays, into all the holidays, when the Nazis in their fur coats were having their great parties and they could smell the meat. They saved their bread. Take one bite, save another. Till February. Late February, they decide SS guards are all asleep, is no night, nobody knows, nobody cares. And so they pull it all out, says Jannie. Well, we pulled it all out, because then we could have a community supper together. And so they did. They put all that bread and everything that they had saved right into the middle. And then every camp came close. They all gathered around each other and they shared together and they started to sing all the songs and teach each other the songs, the sacred songs of their old people, and their people teaching everyone, singing everyone's songs. And Diani said that she heard Annalise singing. The last memory we have of little Annalise Frank singing, and then they are gone next day. First, Margaret rolls out of bed, and then Annalise rolls out the next day on top of her, and they are done. They are no more. We go back to the office, and Otto can't even. He just walk up into his office, and at the door he just turn and look at me, and I say, no, I understand. And the moment the door is closed, I go over and I open up my desk and I take out all of Annalise's writings. This is her soul, and I take it in there and I hand it to Otto and I say, here is your daughter. Oh, Miep. You must, yes, I know. No calls. He said to me, I never knew my daughter while she was alive, I loved her, but I did not know. She wrote so quietly, privately into her diary, but she was such a deep soul, Miep. Yes, Otto, she was. He could not publish it. It was her diary. But he began to share it with members of his family, and and little by little, they shared a little bit with their friends, and their friends said, you have to print the whole thing. Everyone has to know what that brilliant, wonderful, full of life, elemental person, Annalise Frank. They must know. And so he did publish it. I couldn't read it myself. Maybe you must read it. No, I cannot read it myself. And then people started to read it, and they started to come to Prinsengrass. They'd be outside, but that's where it happened, right here. And they wanted to come inside and to see, and the next thing you know, we have our business, but we also have all these people coming that we have to take care of, who are honoring and want to see the space where Annalise walked and wrote. And they would never let me be with these people. Because I was like boiling pot. And one time, Otto is gone for something. I don't know why he's gone. And we have some visitors, and they are so. Their accent, their German accent is so thick. And they come walking in there, and I cannot, it just come out of me. I just let them have it. I came out at them so hard. The husband, he found himself backed up against a wall, and his wife stood in front of him to protect him from me. Just let him have it. And then Otto, he came home and come back, and he sees Miep. Come to my office. I go to his office. Sit. I don't want to sit. Sit. I don't want to sit. Do you remember when first you came to me? Yes, I remember. Do you remember I asked you to make jam? I do remember. And what was the matter with the jam? The jam had lumps. Did we like the lumps? No, we did not like the lumps. Then why are you lumping? What? Well, what is German? What? When you say German, you say Nazi is like something filthy under your shoe. Yes. But when they say Jewish or Jew, it's like something dirty underneath their shoe. Yes. So they lump. And now you lump. How many before this? Jewish, German, Nazi, Arab, Asian, Christian. What is that? I tell you, it is nothing. Life, hate is not real, Miep. It is a bad idea. No lumping. These Germans that you are giving such a piece of your are friends of mine. They work for the resistance. They helped me in Auschwitz. This from Otto Frank, who lost his whole family. From him, I learn, and I'm changed. Let us remember, not so that we can stay in the hate or in the pain. We must remember so we can learn. And while we learn, no lumping. Hate is not real, he said. It is simply a very bad idea.
Thank you for joining us today. There are baskets at the back of the church for a free will offering if you'd like to support this and other programs at Community UMC. If you're watching online, donations may be made through the church website, 1cumc.net/donate. Previous Sunday musicals are also available to watch as a playlist on YouTube at 1cumc.net/YouTube. I look forward to seeing you at our next program on October 20th with harpist Julie Spring and flutist Carolyn May. Please join Megan, Charlotte, and I in the back for reception and conversation. Thank you.